Are you ready for a brown gravy? Oh, taste and see. There's a word for you and me. For brown gravy.
Serving the uncompromising truth makes us truly free.
For brown gravy. Open your heart, your mind, your soul. He'll make you whole. For brown gravy.
Reaching with power.
It's the relevant leadership strategist. Are you ready for a brown gravy?
I mean, does anybody else ever groove to that when it's man, that thing that is just too groovy, and it pretty much describes me and kind of how I am in person. You know, it's just that laid back kind of groove of feel and pace. Are you ready for brown gravy? Gravy, man, just that. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm tripping on my own intro song. Listen, it is Chat and Chew with Brown Gravy. Do me a favor, like, tag, and share this thing quickly. Like, tag, and share quickly. Hey, Washonda, thank you for joining. Hey, Janice, thank you for joining. Tag somebody. Now, specifically today, I want you to tag some married and engaged couples. It's lunchtime, so they should be able to hop on Facebook Live here for a second. It's lunchtime. Tell them to take a break, go ahead and clock out, and grab some lunch, and let's chat and chew. So while they're eating, I'll be chatting with you, and they can have their lunch and some empowerment at the same time. Tell them it's Chat and Chew with Brown Gravy, relationship style. Tag somebody quickly. Tell them take their lunch break right now. Tell the boss they gotta go. I'm leaving. Not leaving the job, but leaving for a minute so that I can focus in on. Let me cover my head. Let me slide over so my head is covered and y'all can see that beautiful young lady sitting behind me. Yeah, but you want to make sure that they have an opportunity to be engaged with this conversation on relationships. It's brown gravy style, relationship brown gravy style, and you can trust me on this. It is going to be good. Are you tagging somebody? Are you getting them in? Are you linking them in? I want you to get them in there now. Make sure you get them in there. And hey, by the way, I want you to make sure that you are also grabbing the link that's up there. I'm gonna see if I can't post it, tag it again, so that you can ensure that you always have it. Give me 1 second. See if I can't pull that up for you and post it there. And when you're coming in, just go ahead and speak to me. I'll be looking up for just a second. I promise I'm not paying you any attention. I just want to put this in here for you so that you can have it, and we'll pin it at the top of that conversation. Here we go. Pin comment. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right, the comment is pinned now. I'm getting pretty good at this thing. I'm getting a bit efficient. Efficient at what I do. Efficient at what I do. All right. Thank you for coming in, Fiona. Hey, girl. Thank you for tagging some folk there. Mac Murray, the Mac Murray. Man, we appreciate and love you, sir. Thank you for being part of this. Tag a couple. Tag somebody who's gonna get married with a date, or somebody who's already married. It's relationship. It's Chat and Chew with Brown Gravy, relationship edition. I want to grab a couple of thoughts. Actually, I'm going to pick up from where we started last night. Last night, and we dug pretty deep. And today, I want to kind of keep down that same thought and flow. And then I want to offer you an opportunity to grow even deeper. Grow even deeper. First and foremost, let me say that I'm not just qualified spiritually to talk in these matters. Man, I've been counseling married couples for well over, 26 years or so. It's been about 25 to 26 years of counseling married couples spiritually. Well, maybe more like 24. Let's say about 24 years, whatever the case may be, is well over 20 years of counseling spiritually. But we're also not just qualified spiritually to handle these things. I'm also certified naturally. I'm a SYMBIS assessment facilitator that deals with all things relationship, especially premarital relationships. So we've been certified with that. And I've written a book on marriage, of course, Before I Undo My I Do. By the way, have you purchased that book yet? Hmm? It's a survival guide for married couples. It's not just when you're in trouble, it's to keep yourself out of trouble, right? You want regular maintenance. Before I Undo My I Do. All right, so I want to make sure that you understand who you're speaking with and that it's not just somebody who's fly by night. Facebook and all these live moments, whether it's Instagram, whatever, gives people, not just those who are intelligent, but it also gives fools a platform. And I want you to know you're not listening to a fool. All right, so I'm just about ready to flow in this thing, Barry. Hey, Green, thank you for joining, sir. Go green. Go green or go home. I think that's how they say it. Tawana McCoy, we always appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Thank you all for tagging these people. Man, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'll get them in. Here we go. So last night I started talking about things to which, and Tawana McCoy just posted right there how you can order your book Before I Undo My I Do. You can order it right there, www.rcbrowngravy.com. Go to that website, order all of my books actually, but in particular, the relationship book right here, Before I Undo My I Do. You make sure you hold on to that, grab it, get it. It's going to bless you. It's going to bless you. So last night we were talking about 7 things that are major issues with married couples. As a matter of fact, it's from an article, Well in 5. The article was found in Well in 5. And in this article, it lists 7 reasons why people usually divorce, or why they usually have major marital problems. And I wanted to kind of throw those things out there at you since it's February and it's usually kind of dubbed the love month. Singles, listen to me, guys. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you get caught up in this love month, love thing, and go try to find you a boo thing that's only going to last as the length of the shortest month of the year, if that long. After February 14th, they'll probably lose interest. So, hold on to your guns, and wait for the right one before you commit your heart totally to that one. But for those married couples who's already in relationships, here we go. So last night I gave you 2. I could only get through 2 because I also wanted to give a couple of pointers that I thought would help you in those particular pieces. So the first thing, just a quick review from last night. The first thing that was listed as a problem in marriage is money. Money becomes a root. Scripture calls it the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. It's also a root of the destruction of marriage. Believe it or not, that people end up divorcing or having major marital problems because they don't have money, or they hide money, or are not honest about money. And those things tend to trickle down and trickle through the rest of the relationship because, now, again, I don't necessarily believe this, but some people feel as if they feel this way, that if you will lie about money, then you'll lie about anything. Again, I don't ascribe to that. I don't necessarily say that that is true, but I do know that that there are people who fully believe in that kind of thing. And so then once they found that you have been lying about money, then they begin to think about every other thing that you say as a lie, and they approach it as a lie before they even begin to consider it to be a kind of truth. You follow what I'm saying there? And so money becomes the root of all evil when the money is low in both places, and the stress of attempting to build a life kind of just overtakes and overshadows that whole relationship. And now both people are angry or frustrated because they're unable to make ends meet. It just kind of destroys the covenant. Now, I did offer a point last night, but this morning I was thinking about you guys, thinking about this chat and chew. And here's something that I wanted to offer for that first problem as well. And it's this: usually the issue with money begins to be birthed because one or either both parties are attempting to live above their means based upon what they see from other people and other couples. It's all right to admire other folk, right? But when that admiration becomes your barometer, when you're trying to reach there, but one, you don't know how they got there. Two, you don't know how long it took them to get there. 3, you don't understand. You may not even know the agreement that they had in order to get there. Number 4, you probably even know that they ended up getting money donated, or they inherited. I mean, you just don't know how they achieved that level of financial freedom and the ability to do certain things. And so then you attempt to make your marriage mirror your heroes, and now you're putting unnecessary stress on each other, attempting to chase the bag in order to secure a certain status that you admire. Away with attempting to just, have certain things because you think that means happiness. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, money can buy a whole lot of things. Money cannot buy happiness. Ooh, I'm pouring gravy better than some of y'all responding out there. Did you see what I said? No, money can buy a lot of things. It cannot buy happiness. Ask some of these people who have money and still commit suicide, who have money and marriage still doesn't work. So the money is not the thing that makes the marriage work, right? The money is not the magic in the marriage. Ooh, somebody write that in the chat for me real quick. The money is not the magic in the marriage. We'll talk about the magic in the marriage on Saturday, right? But it's not the money. And so then if you are enamored with and attempting to always make money, and hear this, gentlemen, sometimes you end up trying to provide to such a degree that you've denied your family you. Come here one more time. That you have tried to provide for your family to such a degree that you have denied your family you. And so, yeah, they got money, but they don't have you. And then you feel as if they don't honor you or respect you, but you were never there to be honored or respected. Ooh, this is good right here. Is anybody out there feeling me in this chat and chew? Who we got out there? Let's see. Hmm. Yeah, no, 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 no. It could be a trap for you, and it can cause you to add stress upon the relationship that's not necessary. I mean, it ain't necessary. So make sure that the money issue isn't because you are attempting to paint a picture of something that is maybe not even going to ever be where your marriage or your household will be financially. Not saying that it can't happen, but don't put that kind of stress on the marriage, on the relationship, when it may not be what you think it is. It's probably a filter. Okay. The second thing we talked about was intimacy. Into me, see, right? That's when it got good and steamy up in our live last night. You just gonna have to go back and watch it. I cannot go back through some of those things. I mean, it's daytime television now, so that was nighttime. I was talking some adult stuff. It's daytime, so I got to be a bit PG. But understand, intimacy is an issue, and is one of those great issues that calls for there to be problems within the marriage. One, because we don't know how to communicate. Now, think about this. How many of you literally had conversations prior to getting married about intimacy? Hmm? How many literally sat down and talked about, hey, yeah, I know, yeah, pray my strength. My mind is crazy, Janice. But I promise you, if you listen to me, it'll help you. Any of you who know me, I got my mind kind of runs quick and it runs wild. It pours gravy. But if you taste that gravy, it's gonna help you really, really, really good. You got to go and watch what she means about the popsicle stick. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Have you had a conversation? Back to your sketch program. Have you had a conversation about intimacy, or did you just start kind of doing it prior to marriage? Now let's be real. Okay, let's be real. And I'm not glorifying this by no stretch of the imagination. But here's the deal: you probably did not wait for sex until you got married, right? So then you were in fornication, right? And so fornication in and of itself has a level of excitement attached to it that is lost after you get in covenant. Oh, y'all doing me so bad. I got no hearts. I got no likes. I got no comments. Y'all, why y'all doing me like this? One more time. Because it is taboo and you're not supposed to do it, your excitement level shoots to the roof because you're doing something that you feel like is wrong. And the wrong in the nature of the action added a level of excitement in the exchange. And it was like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. And then you get married. When you get married and it's legal, that little elixir of it being taboo and not supposed to do, and you being bad, but the bad makes you feel even better, is wiped away. And so now it's okay. We're legal. We can legally do it now. Hear me, ladies and gentlemen. I've counseled many people, and from what I've heard, and I told you it's 20 plus years of this. It's like, well, we used to always before, but now after, we very rarely. One of those reasons is because you were indulging in this spirit that was not of God, that calls for there to be a level of excitement that that same spirit stole once you became married. It took it away because all it wanted you to do was to be wrong, was to be off, right? Was to cross up your wires. Because one thing I think I'm gonna do I want to do a whole session, but it's gonna have to be a Zoom. I won't do it Facebook Live because I want to kind of control who's hearing it because everybody doesn't necessarily need to hear these kind of things, especially younger kids. But I want to do a whole session on sex. Let's talk about sex. I want to talk about that. One, because it's taboo. Two, because people feel like they know what they're doing when they're doing it and have no clue, no idea. You don't know your own body yet, but you're giving what you don't know about you yet to someone else. Oh my, this is going to be good. And many times, the only place we learned sex from was from either magazines, a drunk uncle, um, or the VCR, the VCR tapes that had that strange. The music wasn't even matching the movement, and then you had those sounds that they placed over that. Them people weren't even making them sounds. And, and I mean they wasn't even touching one another yet. You see, them cheesy movies. That's how you learn how to do it. And none of that dealt with, come here, the intimacy of having sexual relation with your spouse. Okay, so we need to really talk about sex, right? Okay, so intimacy can be a problem when there is no lack of when there is a lack of intimacy, which then affects the act of sex. It breaks the marriage apart because here's another bombshell. You ready? Intimacy is not necessarily sex. Uh-oh, I done lost you. I know it. I lost you. I lost you. I get it. Intimacy is not necessarily sex, but we connect the two and believe that without sex, there's no intimacy. And that's not true. Right. So then we got to understand, you ain't got to do anything. You should learn intimacy first and then let intimacy lead you into the act of self and the exchange of one's body to the other. Give me what you got for a pork chop. Bury your mess, right? We need to understand that intimacy is not sex first, right? And that intimacy is mental, emotional, where sex is just physical. Uh, but then that physical can feed into the mental and emotional, which then causes for there to be an even greater moment of exchange between married couples. All right, that was a long explanation, but I want you to kind of hear that part about intimacy. Just different things I thought about this morning before I jumped on to have chat and chew with you. Here's the third thing that is listed as a major detractor with marriages, destroying them. Undesirable friends. Undesirable friends. Listen, friends can create conflict, even though it's not often talked about in the context of marital issues. If one's spouse's friends don't get along with the other, it can become a big friction point between the partners. This is especially a problem if those friendships start to take precedent over the relationship or the family. Oh my. Okay, so undesirable friends. When one or either both have friends to which one or either both don't like, and then those friendships tend to begin to pull on the the stick to itiveness of the marriage. They start kind of being pulled apart because you say all kinds of things like, so you don't want me to have friends, and da 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 da, and whatever the case may be. They were my boy before I met you. They're gonna be my boy after I meet you. Those are my girls. Now, women usually don't have too much of a problem with it. It's usually the men more often than not. But with the women, hey, that was my girl prior to, and we still cool like that, and she loves me, and I love her, and she was with me through thick and thin. I mean, all of those excuses start kind of coming into play, and then that friendship begins to take precedent over the covenant. You got to talk about those friends and then be open in the conversation to be able to see both sides of the coin, both sides of the picture. You follow what I'm saying there? Hopefully you follow what I'm saying there. Okay, so it's undesirable friends, and it's not just hush, right? Now it's going to be like that. Period. They'll be here after you, so I'm not letting them go. Then now you're probably not functioning as a married couple. You're now functioning as a single person in an agreement, because the friend should never take precedent over the marriage or the family. And if they are friends, true friends, then they themselves would not want to be um, an issue that drives a wedge between your forever after. So now you need to reevaluate, were they really friends at all? Part two, and I'm gonna let it go because I'm not giving you all this stuff for free. Well, I'm giving it to you for free. You got it. Here's part two. Talk to the other partner about why they don't like that friend. And maybe you can come to a conclusion or at least a middle ground with what happens there. Because maybe they see something in that friend that you don't see because you're blinded by situational friendship, especially if that friendship became bonded over a strong issue. So now the situation has you blinded to any of their issues that may be detrimental to you, that the person you're now in covenant with could see plainly, but you could never see because you were too close to the issue. Are you hearing what I'm saying out there? Okay. All right. So undesirable friends, that that can cause an issue. What about your friends? I'm preaching that tomorrow, by the way, for Bible study. Here's number four: household division of labor. This sounds small, but it's major. This sounds small, but it's major. Household division of labor. Do you feel like you're handling the majority of the cooking, the cleaning, organizing, and the logistics that are a part of every household? It is something that leads to a lot of conflict between you and your partner. You're dealing with another one of the most, this thing about the division of labor is another one of those issues that turn into major blowups in every household. What then, ladies and gentlemen, hmm, is your plan for household division of labor? What's your plan? Huh? What is the model. How are we dividing this thing up? Hey, Crystal, how are we dividing this thing up? Is it archaic in its approach? Keep the woman barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, doing all the household work while you go out and win the dollar, then come home and sit on the couch and watch TV while all the chaos is happening around you, the taking care of the kids, the feeding the kids. I mean, is that the approach? And if so, how's that working for you? Or is it, and I'm talking mainly to the men in this regard because I know us, or is it that you feel like some of those duties are domestic and it's domesticating you? So then you feel to fold clothes is too feminine and it messes with your masculinity, which now tells me something about what you view about masculinity, because obviously it's not a healthy view of masculinity. How are those household labor things developed? Now, see, that can actually bump up to that sexual issue that we were talking about, because maybe they don't feel like having sex because they were busy being Martha all day and dead tired at night. You do know, come here, that cooking can be shared. I need some help in this. And you do understand that, right? Cooking can be shared. Hmm? That even if you can't cook, ladies, if you can't cook, gentlemen, let Kentucky Fried do the cooking, but you just go pick it up and have it put on a plate like you cooked it. I fully believe that some folk wouldn't mind eating out as much if it just didn't always look like takeout. If you're going to go to McDonald's, take the Big Mac out the box and put it on a plate like you made the burger. I don't have any help here. I really don't. Yeah, I thought I was coming on here with a chat and shoe that was going to bless your life, and y'all just treat me all kind of ways. Y'all do me so wrong. I don't feel loved. I'm kidding. Okay, so hear me now. You do know that you could actually chip in and wash the dishes. I don't wash no dishes. I don't do no dishes. No, I'm not doing it. Okay, you don't have to do them. Most folk have dishwashers. Put the dishes in the dishwasher and press the button. I mean, it's those little things, but those little things that are not done pile up to become large things. And now you're arguing over what you think is simple, but it wasn't simple because we never spoke about household division of labor. Who mops? Hmm? Who sweeps? Yeah. Who changes the baby? I'm going to put myself out there. It was hard for me with changing diapers. Well, you're changing certain kind of diapers. Now, if my kids, kind of peed, I can handle that. But oh my, if they ended up doing that other thing, it was hard for me. It was hard for me. And so at one point, I wasn't doing it at all, but I was watching my wife being kind of ran down. And so I had to gag my way through it because love is sacrifice. It's difficult to say you love somebody truthfully. That's another lesson I'm gonna have to talk about, the truth about love. Right? It's difficult to say that you love somebody truthfully if there is no sacrifice found in that. Greater love hath no man than this, that he gave. Okay, so then love is sacrifice and giving. So then here's what I did. I tied something around my nose. I gagged the whole entire time, but but I did what I needed to do to help change that diaper because it was not fair for me to leave everything on her and then just expect for her to be ready for me for my sexual needs when I met none of her needs during that day as it relates to labor in the house. Co-pastor Blair, God bless you. Latanja Blair, that's a beast, guys. This woman of God is amazing when it comes to she's just amazing. Google her, find her, click her name, go to her page. You'll be blessed by her. Are you following what I'm saying there, ladies and gentlemen? Are you kind of are you vibing there? What is the plan? Hmm? Because believe it or not, your spouse is probably resentful of you right now. And if you get sex or whatever, it's probably done because they just know they got to do it because they don't really want to do it because they feel taken advantage of as it relates to regular household labor. And ladies and gentlemen, it is labor. Woo. You know, because you probably already came home and said, all you do is stay home. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Wrong, wrong approach, wrong answer. Should have never said it. All you do is stay home all day. Yeah, probably. I'm sure that conversation didn't go well. Be because labor is labor is labor is labor. Whether it's mental labor, whether it's physical labor, whether it's domesticated labor, it does not matter. Labor is labor, and so then you should respect and honor each piece and every side of it. So here's what I'm telling you. My tip for you is to come up with a plan. Put it on a chart. Right. Okay. Whose day is it to do the mopping? Okay. Whose day is it to do the sweeping? Because we're taking this on together. Or, hey, I'll do all of this if you could do that. Man, I wish I had some help in this room. Right. I'll do all this if you do that. You do that, I'm good. I mean, I tell the story almost all the time. One of the issues with what that my wife had with me earlier in our marriage is the fact that she didn't like taking out trash, and obviously neither did I. And so it became a big problem in our house because the trash would just pile up. I just wouldn't take it outside. I was caught up in my video game kind of deal. And it wasn't until it kind of came to a head, to a front, that we kind of just, bump heads that uh, we found out, or I found out at least, she was doing all of this other things. And all she wanted me to do was make sure all the trash was out the house so that the house doesn't smell. And I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with myself and say, okay, now, are you really being too selfish in this moment that you can't handle taking out the trash? Sometimes, gentlemen, all it takes is a conversation to figure out how can you alleviate some of the household labor just so that she can have a place of peace. And believe it or not, most women feel like doing those kind of things is sexy. Yeah, they and don't have a bald head. They'll call you Mr. Clean. You see what I'm saying? Mr. Clean is a big old strong. It's sex to them. It's their turn on. You don't even have to ask for sex. Then they'll just jump your bones. All right, I got no help in this digital church. Is there any women out there who are married who can agree that it's sexy when you see them grab that mop and that broom, and you're like, ooh, yes, Lord. Oh, look at that. Complete turn on. You see what I'm saying? So you were fussing about sex when all you ever had to do was not send her a picture of your Johnson, just pick up a broom. I said what I said. All you got to do is not try to send these little sexy pictures or these little, girl, when I get home, I'm smashing. You ain't got to do all that. When you get home, go pick up a broom and sweep that thing slow and methodical. You see what I'm saying? You just, oh, oh. Yeah, do it with some rhythm. Put some music on. Hmm? Yeah, get you some music playing. Find that mop. Man, take those dishes and take that plate and just slowly, in a circular motion, clean that plate while looking at her. Ladies and gentlemen, it's simple things that we neglect to do. Here's what the Bible says, since folk now listening to me may not even think that I'm saved at this point. I promise you, I'm saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, running, running for my life. I love Jesus, but I understand the relevance of the Bible and know how to help that Bible come alive for you so that you can live a life that's not restricted by legalism and law. Because for the most part, that's what we were taught, legalism and law, which was not God in his whole idea of bringing grace. See what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So, so all right. Maybe okay. Hopefully y'all can hear that. Yeah, it's real raw and relevant, McCoy. So so consider that, guys. Consider that. And ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, there's some ladies who are just nasty. The men are doing all the cleaning, and the woman comes home and does absolutely nothing. Now that's far and in between, but it happens, right? You have piles of clothes up in the corner. Fold the clothes, ladies. Hmm? You don't even attempt to cook. No, it's a partnership, not a dictatorship. Uh-oh, I'm really getting in trouble now. One more time. It's a partnership, not a dictatorship. Dictatorship dictates what's going to happen. Usually, the dictator writes themselves out of the chores. Partnership, we come into an agreement of this is what we're going to do. Those of you who are single out there listening to me, hear this stuff prior to you stepping into a relationship. Don't tune your ear out. Oh, he's just talking to married couples. Prayerfully, you're going to be married one day too, if you desire marriage. So you're going to need to hear some of these things so that you don't have any issues. And by the way, if you are interested, go ahead and get my book, Before I Undo My I Do, a survival guide for married couples. Go to my website, and purchase it and order it. It'll help you. It's not for marriages that are in trouble. It's to keep the marriage out of trouble. Now, having said that, pinned at the top of of my comment is what's happening this Saturday. I got maybe like three more of these things to do because I told you seven. I've only given you four, so I got three more to tell you. I'm not going to finish this today. Let's come together again maybe tomorrow for another chat and shoot, and we'll see how far we get with the next three that are marriage problems. This Saturday, I'm doing an in-person and digital marriage intensive called "I Can Do This for Hours" or "We Can Do This for Hours." Now here's the flyer. Right, it kind of just covers my face, but it's all right. Here's the flyer. It's a love thing marriage intensive. We can do this for hours. February the 12th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. 2 hours of intense training. Today, I finished one of the first outlines that we're going to have printed and sent and given to you as you enter into the room. It's only, hear me, it's only $127. It's only $127 for both of you. Right? So the couple pays 127. It's not $127 a piece. Husband pay 127, wife pay 127. No, 127 covers the both of you entering into the in-person meeting and or even the digital space. Now, here's what I need you to do because I know some of us we always wait to register at the door. I can't properly prepare for you if you wait to register at the door. And I want to prepare for you properly. I got a gift that I want to give you. I got a couple of things I want to hand over to you. We want to make sure we print out enough of these copies so that you can have it in your hand to take some notes and those kind of things. And so, I can't do any of that if I don't know you're coming. And by the way, seating is limited in the in-person space, right? So we only have 30, we only made space for 30 couples. Okay, so 30 couples can come. After the 30 couples, it's all digital, right? And so you'll get a Zoom link in order for you to click in on the Zoom. Now, hear me. In person has its privileges. In person has its privileges. So you may want to fight to be one of the people who are going to be in to the meeting this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We can do this for hours. Man, I cannot wait to do it. And then listen, guys, on that Sunday, some of you who are coming out of town, stay over because Sunday morning in church, I'm going to take that a little further. And so the message for Sunday morning is I can't do this for hours, but I can do this for decades. Man, I flip it. I flip it. The message is so good. Everybody gonna want to be a part of that particular lesson for that Sunday morning, February the 13th. I'm trying to get you ready for February 14th and prayerfully past February the 14th. All right. So make sure that you register today, 127 per couple. Get in on this marriage intensive. You spent thousands of dollars on that wedding. You spend absolutely nothing on the marriage and trying to figure out why it's not working. Let me tell you why it's not working. You're not making an investment. You bought Jordans for Christmas and invested in Jordan's future and his children, right? You bought Coach and all those. You invested in all them other people, and so they're thriving, and your marriage is drying up because you put no money there. And ladies and gentlemen, roses don't always fix things. Pocketbooks don't always fix things. Gadgets and football games don't always fix things. You need to put money into the marriage by coming to training such as this. Again, I've counseled people for well over 20 years with marriage, spiritually. And then I went and got certified naturally to be able to counsel people with marriage and premarital development. I'm a SYMBIS certified facilitator where I can show you my papers. I got papers. I got papers. So I can help you with that. And then even wrote a book. I mean, I wrote a book, Before I Undo My I Do, which is a really good book for anybody who's already gotten that book. Put in the chat how good you think the book is. It is a major marital investment and a tool to help your marriage survive. All right, so let's see if we pop in here tomorrow, maybe for another chat and chew, and get prepared for you in that regard. I'll get prepared for you in that regard, and you should join me. You should join me at I Could Do This for Hours Marriage Intensive, brought to you by It's a Love Thing. That's my wife and I. We came up with that. That's her right there. Right. And so Lady Trini Brown in this space. Thank you guys for watching. Fiona says the book is amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are you single and satisfied, single and waiting, or single and dating? Waiting Well is also a must. I wrote another book called Waiting Well. You need to get that book too. Absolutely. Make sure that you connect with us. I appreciate you. Inbox me if you have questions about Saturday. Whatever. We want to make sure that you have what's necessary and needed for you to have. Here's the theme that we've adopted at the Sword of Truth for this year: better relationship. I'll take a moment to answer any question that you may have. You can, if you have my number, text me directly or inbox me. I'll pull up Facebook now, or the messenger rather, just to see if there's any things that have come up. If you don't want to put the question publicly, you can either text me or inbox me or put it right there in the chat. I'll answer it real time, like right now, right off the cuff. I want to give you a moment. I'm only going to take a moment. So if there are no questions, then we're going to relinquish this live and go back to planning and finishing up, rather, the planning for Saturday. Marriage Intensive. I Can Do This for Hours. Only $127. Only $127. There's that link right there. It's only. Did I say only? Yep. Only $127 per couple. Do it early so I can prepare for you. So she'll continue to wait for a question. Okay. All right. Anyone else with a question? I'll answer it real time. No question is a dumb. No question is a dumb. And you got 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. All right. Well, God bless you. Again, we'll try to pop back on here maybe tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time for another Chat and Chew with Brown Gravy Relationship Edition. I think it's going to be good. Today was good. Go back and watch it if you've not seen it from it in its entirety. There was some great information that was given in this particular piece. All right. We'll see you Saturday, preferably, or tomorrow for Chat and Chew.